Welcome back to another lecture. My name is Fahad and today we'll discuss about in-depth analysis of influencer. So like we have discussed in our last lecture, there was one influencer, Shoutcart score of 9.9. So we have actually gathered the information of that influencer and will deeply look into his account and how this account works for us as a marketer. His name at the Instagram is typewriter voice with 753k followers and his success rate is 87%. Now, these are the parameters, the success rate, the score, and the demographics, and the price basically also a parameter. So we will look into his description, what he has to say for his account. So he has justified that the top audience is from India, Philippines, and US. So this is validated from Shoutcart team as well. So the demographics that you can see on his description and his charts is basically validated demographics based on the audience of the account. You can also get it validated from a third-party tools. Now the engagement is very high. You can look at it at yourself. So this is kind of a pitch statement from his side. So we are constantly growing 2K plus daily and have a very active followers. So here he is depicting a fact that his following is not from the bots, it's an active followers. But these things we need to validate ourselves from the account validation as well. Like a manually go into the account and we need to check these stats as well and validate it. The video views average around 100k to 120k depending on the content. So what he is recommending here is the content that you as a marketer use should be a video content. Here are two things. One thing is most of the influencers doesn't like their content to be overridden with a different content structure. So for example, he has based his audience 750k followers. He has based his followers with a similar kind of content which his audience needs to see or like or to follow. He doesn't want to override his content with something different than what he normally or usually displays. So most of the time, influencers think for themselves rather than think for a collaboration or a business that they are collaborating with. So we need to stick to our content and we need to take into consideration the preferences which an influencer is guiding, but we need to see what actually suits us as a marketer. So we will take this as a point and we will validate. So he has recommended provide a HD video, provide a well-written, interesting caption with a call to action. So these 2 points we will put in our prerequisite checklist before making a content as a recommendations from a niche specific influencer. The third thing he has mentioned is order a longer duration shoutout. So this is a point where we need to play wisely or we need to be smart in this regard because ordering a longer shoutout doesn't help anyone's cause as a marketer because we all know that Instagram post decay period starts after 2 to 3 hours maximum the post has been posted. So for example, after 3 hours, your post will not get that much engagement that the post will get in first 2 to 3 hours. That is understandable because Instagram algorithm wants to put newer content in front of their audience and they don't want to post the content with the same structure for a longer duration of time. So ordering a longer duration shout out will give the benefit to the influencer because he would be getting more revenue out of it. But at the marketer's level or at your level, it won't actually do justice with the amount that you have put in and the ROI or the engagement that you are getting. Because after 3 hours or maximum 4 hours, the decay period starts to kick in. So in the last points, he is mentioning that you are purchasing a shout out, not followers, and I don't guarantee the outcomes. And we will do shout outs for anything that doesn't go against our rules. So basically, he's summarizing his policies terms in these 2 3 lines. and he's assuring the output of the campaign won't bring any followers, or like they are not responsible for followers, and that's understandable. It also depends upon the content or your niche or your product and service. So this is something that we as a marketer needs to work on before going for a shout out. Now here I can show you some of the details of this influencers in terms of demographics and statistics. So the language is predominantly English. The country, the base country of this influencer page or an account is from India. The age is from 17 to 24. So this is basically the average age of that followers of the account. So basically, if you are promoting a product that has the target audience of age 25 to 35, even though you have all the tick marks for this influencer, but the age is not matching with your desired age demographics, then you should not be opting for this influencer, because the average age of the following of this influencer is ranging from 17 to 24. The gender is predominantly women. So if you are promoting a men's product or a service, then obviously you should not be hiring this influencer, even though they have a very good engagement and ROI. In the statistics, you can see average likes is pretty much on the higher side. Average comments they have mentioned, so 69 is the average number of comments that they will get for a single post, and the total post is more than 4,000, so it's on a higher number. Activity is the most important part that you need to put in your prerequisite checklist. The most performing post for this account is from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. So while going for a checkout, you need to make sure that you opt in for a shout out between this period, not any other period where the audience is not predominantly active. So in the pricing, you will see the shout out rates range from $25 to $170 for a permanent shout out with a bio link. So here we need to understand one thing, that we will not go for a permanent shout out, we will not go for a 24-hour shout out, we will not go for even 12-hour shout out, because of the fact that I have explained that the decay period starts to kick in, and engagement, the ROI, and the reach, even the following starts to decrease after 2 to 3 hours for a single post. So we need to be smart in this regard, and we need to select for a 2-hour shout out with a bio link. And bio link is necessary because it will give you an intangible gain, because the followers that you are getting from this campaign would be directly coming to your page, your website, your landing page. So these are your intangible assets that you can consume later on in your direct campaigns. So the recommendation would be a 2-hour shout out plus a bio link. Now, just like any other platform or any other e-commerce site where you select a product and it will give you a recommended product, similarly in Shoutcart basically gives you a related influencers. So before going for a checkout process, they actually display a number of influencers from the same niche, comparatively with the same kind of a budget, and they will recommend you that if you want to add on those influencers, the total bill would be $122 for a 2-hour shout out. If you like, you can add on those influencers, check on the box of add bio link if available, and you can add in your campaign. So basically, I would recommend to go with one influencer at a time, do a complete 360-degree process, jot on your results, and then go for another split test, go for another influencer, do it with a different type of content, and then you will understand which works best for your content. So in the next lecture, we'll talk about the campaign checkout process in detail with one of the influencers, and we will understand what factors we should count in before doing the checkout process. Until next time, thank you. Have a nice day.